Welcome back, action figure fans. We're going to be looking at some DC Directs and DC Classics today. 10 more awesome action figures randomly pulled off my shelves. 5 good guys and 5 bad guys as always. There you go. That's the 10 that we're going to be looking at. So let's go back to the beginning over here. And we have a very cool vampire Batman. I'm a sucker for all these vampires and werewolves and all that supernatural heroes. And I like this vampire Batman a whole lot. Besides his face, I like that he's a little bit skinnier than you picture Batman. Well, it makes sense. I mean, if he's a vampire, he's dead now. So I think he would be a little bit skinnier. I love that they were able to put some bat wings on him and attach them there. And he's very articulated. You can bend him all kinds of poses on him. And I really like the very, very long bat ears that they have on him. He's very Joe Kelly looking, the artist who did that. And so that's a cool Batman. I really like the whole vampire. I know McFarlane has done a vampire Batman, but I actually think this one's better than the McFarlane. McFarlane one's good too, but this one's better. Okay. Very strange, right? A lion-headed and lion-handed Superman. Well, this is a throwback to comic books from the 1950s when you would see covers with superheroes like this. They would have just crazy, crazy things on the covers. And it's not going to get too much crazier than a Superman with a lion's head. So this came packaged with like 3 different heads that you could put on him. One was like an ant head. One was like a super large brain Superman, and then of course the lion. So I picked the lion one to put on him. I just, out of the 3, I thought that was the coolest one. So that's a very strange Superman figure to have. But when you have, I don't know, 150 Superman figures, then you kind of like having some very off-the-wall strange ones, and this one definitely fit the bill. So I think he's cool. Okay, Jay Garrick, the Flash. This is a DC Classics figure, and it's a good figure. The thing that I like the most about this right here is the chrome helmet. I really like that. And he looks good. That's a really good Flash figure. All right, moving on to an old DC Direct figure. Man, this is going back to the early days. I think the early 2000s, 2002, 2003. Here we have Mr. Miracle. I always thought he had a cool costume. Obviously, they have done some newer versions of him. But hey, I'm pulling figures from old school up to new stuff. So I think he came within a 2-pack with his wife, Big Barda. But still, I think the colors are nice. I like his size. And that's a fairly good, it still stands up, Mr. Miracle. Okay, being a veteran, I really like these war figures, heroes. And here's one, Sergeant Rock. This is also a very early DC Direct. It's not very articulated, but still, I think that it looks really, really good. It captures Sergeant Rock very, very well. And this one, I think, kind of holds up, even though it is very dated and his gun falls out of his hand fairly easy. But that being said, I like this figure. I don't know if they've ever done another Sergeant Rock or if they ever will at DC. You can take his helmet off if you want. So if you want to get a Sergeant Rock, which I'm sure all of you out there are desperately wanting a Sergeant Rock, then go on eBay and track him down. That's a cool figure. And he is a DC Comics superhero. I don't know if you call him superhero, but he is a hero, right? Okay, moving on to the bad guys. Here we have a DC Essentials. That's a line they put out a while back. They were just a little bit bigger, I think a little bit taller. And this is the Cheetah. And it's a really well done Cheetah. The paint job and the paint deco on this figure looks really, really good. They have done, I think, 3 or 4 to 5 Cheetah figures. This is probably one of the better ones. And she's a nice figure. Well, the Cheetah. Okay, so here we have Catwoman, DC Classics Catwoman. I believe this came out in one of the Batman waves. And this is more like a 1970, 1980 version of Catwoman. It might even be one of the Earth, the different Earths, the Earth 2 version of Catwoman. Not quite sure. But regardless, I do think that's a cool costume. I do like this Catwoman. And she goes good with, I don't know, the 30 other Catwoman figures that they've put out that I have. So I do like this costume on her. I think it looks cool. I like the green cape. That's a pretty cool Catwoman figure. Okay, next, one of the heavy hitters of the DC bad guys is Brainiac, the living computer. Now, I can't remember the name. I think it was, I don't know if it was first appearances or not, but they came out with like 15 figures in that line. And they are all really, really, really good. I really like the sculpt on them. They're a little bit bulkier. They're definitely a very strong looking line. Especially the Batman and Superman from that line was really, really good. I'll get those out one time and put them down there. But this is a really good Brainiac. I know that pink is just god-awful, but it looks like the comic books, though. And it works. I like that he has his little laser gun there. And the coloring on him is really good, like the green. And the sculpt is good. So that's a good Brainiac figure. My favorite, of course, is the all robot look on Brainiac, but hey, that one's good. Okay, so here we have, I think, the only DC Direct or Classics Major Force figure that they've ever made. So this came out with a Public Enemies, I believe, wave. Came out with the DC animated movie. And so they had him. I think the Build-A-Figure was Brimstone in that. And so he's the only Major Force figure that DC has made. So if you want to get all the figures, you need this one right here. If we get all the figures that DC's put out, you need him. And of course, he's like a Captain Marvel, Captain Atom bad guy. He can manipulate atomic energy just like Captain Atom. And it's a pretty good figure. I wish it was a little more shiny. I guess you could say the red was more of a shine to it. But hey, I do have a Major Force. I shouldn't complain. Okay, from that same movie, Public Enemies, they came out with this very, very large Lex Luthor in battle armor. You can't actually move his arms, but he's so big and bulky. But I kind of like it. It's just so over exaggerated, and I think that was the artist Ed McGuinness. He does great work. I've always loved his stuff, and this is his interpretation. And they captured it really, really good in plastic form. And man, look at that crazy look on his face. All right. I like that Lex Luthor. Not the best Lex Luthor, but I do like the bulkiness of it. I think it looks kind of cool. All right, guys. 10 more awesome action figures in this video. I did it last time. I'll go ahead and do it this time too. I make these videos, and when I load them up, I put on they're made for children, so there's no comments allowed. So if you would like to send me a message about my videos or something you'd like me to make, please email me and let me know. It's Todd03Allison@Reagan.com, and I'll read your comment. All right, guys, check out my other videos if you haven't done so yet. Remember, I'm making these for you. Take care.